If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as follow me and subscribe to me on all my other social media platforms. What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back with another album review for you guys, and today I am talking about the latest studio offering from Swedish/German classic heavy metal, doom metal, hard rock, whatever you want to call them, LUCIFER with LUCIFER V. This came out also on January 26th, this time on Nuclear Blast Records, and this is a band I've been needing to check out for a little bit, considering the members you have in this band. The frontwoman, Johanna Sadanis Anderson, and her husband, the legendary Nick Anderson from Entombed, Death Breath, and The Helicopters. So, obviously, me being a big Entombed fan and seeing that, you know, Nick Anderson has been in so many projects and that this was one of them. Even though he's not an original member, he joined in 2017, where the band formed in 2014, and Johanna has been the only original member throughout the band's entire history, and now married to the legendary Nick. Now they have a band together, which is pretty cool. But without further ado, why don't we talk about this album? So yeah, it's kind of hard to describe LUCIFER. It's almost like you're taking... It's mostly 70s-based music is what we're getting here. It's like a hybrid of classic heavy metal, doom metal, and hard rock, as I said. So I'd say a good band to compare them to nowadays would be a band like Ghost, because Ghost kind of has a little bit of that hybrid going on, but I would say Ghost kind of experiments a little bit more with like 80s pop and 70s prog, whereas this band is mostly stripped down, basic songwriting, structures, and just all about rocking out and just having fun with it. And you pretty much get that right out of the rip with the opening track, Fallen Angel, which was the shortest track of the album at just about 3.5 minutes almost. And yeah, this is definitely telling of what you're going to get on this album. Lots of 70s based riffs and hard rocking heavy moments. Here it feels like a hybrid of Kiss and Black Sabbath, and I really like that fusion that LUCIFER's going for on this track. And you even get some like really cool gallops. And then probably one of the big standout things about this album, of course, is the lead work. Like, the lead work, it's just all about shred and just ripping leads with great melody and dynamic. It just... Kudos to the guitarists in this band who are just doing a fantastic job, not only with the riff writing, but with the lead work. At the Mortuary, this was the longest track of the album, so it's kind of weird. You start off with your shortest track, and then it comes to the longest track. This is a little over 6 minutes at the Mortuary. This is by far the most doom-laden song on the entire album. And it starts off with these like dark, clean melodies, and then it's very much doom metal central. Like, this almost feels like this could have been a deep cut on like Master of Reality or something like that, because it's got that type of tone to it. And I love the organ in the background to give this song like a real occult vibe, which I always love sinister atmosphere in like doomy metal or doomy rock. And the bridge, I gotta admit, like, Johanna's vocals, first off, she does a fantastic job on these vocals. Like, she's not really flashy a lot, she's basically singing to serve the song, and it's all about darkness and maybe a little bit of, like, dare I say, sex-friendly type of vocals. I'll talk more about that when we get to the end of the album, but yeah, the soothing vocals from Johanna on the bridge on this track, just mwah, it was like the chef's kiss onto a dish of some sorts. Now, Riding Reaper, is this supposed to be like a fan fiction of like some hot chick riding the Grim Reaper's cock or something? I don't fucking know. But just kind of a funny title. Riding Reaper. Who wants to ride the Reaper? Anyways, I digress even further. But anyway, so you get this like sweet harmonized riff that immediately made me think of Thin Lizzy. After all, Thin Lizzy's one of the masters at harmonized guitars. And then it gets into some more sinister tones, almost like 70s to early 80s pentagram even, which there are some notes to some of the early doom metal bands like Pentagram, and maybe even a little bit of Saint Vitus can come up from time to time. And then Slow Dance in a Crypt. This one, like the clean guitars and the piano, definitely bring back the Sabbath vibe. And Johanna's vocals, dare I say, get rather soulful on this track, which is really cool. But it's another doomy track. But it's very subdued. Like the atmosphere, it's quite subdued, where it's all about calming things down. And it's almost like a doomy version of Lynyrd Skynyrd's Simple Man, which is a fantastic song in its own right, but just done at a doomier pace. And even the leads on this track, both of the guitarists are trading off masterfully well with these guitar solos. And even the chorus to this track almost feels like, am I listening to like dark gospel? Because it's kind of like uplifting almost. It had that kind of vibe to it. Then we get to Immaculate Heart. Beautiful classical guitar work with the acoustic guitar at the beginning. Made me think of Peter Gabriel era Genesis, almost like Supper's Ready off of Foxtrot a little bit, made me think of. And then wild drums, and another thing, Nick does a fantastic job with the drum work on this album. He's not doing anything crazy, he's just hitting the nice rhythm, occasional big time drum fills to show that, hey, Nick Anderson can fucking play his kit pretty damn well, no matter what genre you put him into. And I love how the acoustic and electric guitars work in unison on this track, and it definitely made me think of Heart, which I know that's a big influence on Johanna with Lucifer, as well as 70s era Heart, and I can definitely hear that on this track. And even that galloping riff, it almost made me think of an evil version of Barracuda, which is really cool. And even Johanna's vocals, she kind of wails a little bit towards the end to showcase her range a little bit more. Now, A Coffin Has No Silver Lining, this screams late 70s, early 80s Judas Priest. Like, this almost feels like something that could have been a hybrid between Stained Class and British Steel. Like, it's got catchy riffs, but it has a little bit of that late 70s tone to it. And it was a really cool song. Granted, the spoken word section was a little bit odd, but I can let that slide. The Dead Don't Speak, definitely the most bluesy track on the album. Dare I say even southern rock inspired. Like, it brings back Lynyrd Skynyrd vibes, but it does get really heavy in the bridge section, or as heavy as it can get. Strange Sister, now this one definitely kind of felt like a hybrid between Priest and Thin Lizzy quite a bit, and even the bass, like when it comes down to the production and the mix, like definitely the production itself sounds like it could have been from a 70s hard rock heavy metal album, but the mix is actually pretty solid, even though the bass, you have to really listen for the bass, but here on Strange Sister, the bass definitely gets a chance to shine and kind of drive the song forward. Now, going back to what I was talking about with Sex Friendly, we get to the final track, which the title is very contradictory, Nothing Left to Lose But My Life, where you think this is this like dark, sinister, like oppressive song. No, it starts off with these like dark, sinister, clean melodies, and then it gets almost to like a doomier Danzig, almost like a doomier version of the song She Rides, and the song has a sexy kind of vibe to it, and even Johanna's vocals add to that sexy vibe, because it's like, am I being seduced through this song right now to just squeeze one out and just all over my fucking walls and paint them even more white than they already are? Probably too much information there, but I digress even further. And even the lead felt like sexy time almost, so yeah, kind of a weird way to end this album on a somewhat sexy note in terms of the way the song sounds and is portrayed. But overall, as far as any complaints that I had about this album, I really couldn't find any. Like, this just takes me back to when I was growing up as a little kid listening to classic rock radio and hearing, you know, AC/DC, Sabbath, Thin Lizzy, Judas Priest, and so many others growing up as a kid. So this definitely took me back to that for sure. Again, any complaints? Maybe the most tiny problem, and it's not even really a problem, it was just more, I was kind of taken, or not taken, what am I trying to say here? I kind of was like a little bit like, was that odd spoken word section in A Coffin Has No Silver Lining, but I'm going to skip past that. Overall, man, already January's getting us going with some damn good albums, and I don't know if this is going to be a crazy opinion or not. You just have to listen to the album yourself to fully understand, but this is going to be the first 5 out of 5 album this year. Like, no joke. This is fantastic. Like, perfect hybrid, like I said, of 70s hard rock, classic heavy metal, and doom metal. Like, a perfect mix of all 3 of those styles. Basically, if you want to hear Ghost do less of the 70s prog and 80s pop vibes, check out Lucifer. So if you are a fan of bands like Black Sabbath, Thin Lizzy, Ghost, Blood Ceremony, I would even bring up, definitely check this album out. This is fantastic. Like, or if you love classic rock, classic hard rock, classic metal, just fucking check this album out. I loved it. I'm planning on getting it at some point. And now I actually need to go back and listen to the other Lucifer albums, since there's 4 other ones. But of course, this is all just my opinion. What did you guys think of Lucifer V by Lucifer? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, keep your horns high and your dreams wet.